Welcome to the Game Developers News Network, sponsored by the Georgia Game Developers Association. So we've seen plenty of good news shows for gamers, presenting great gameplay and making us want to spend the next 72 hours blowing up zombies. What we have not seen are great news streams for game developers, the kind that make us want to spend the next 72 hours developing shaders for a game about blowing up zombies.
The Game Dev News Network is our answer to that need. We're working with a variety of partners to create a network capable of covering stories relevant to game creators and those looking to get into the industry. We like seeing games in development, but we also like hearing how the creators made them what they are. We want to know about techniques, tools, and plugins.
We also want to make you part of the story. Got news? Please share it with us. Competing in contests? Let us know how you do. Got a game in distribution? Let us know how it's doing and whether you think it's doing well or poor. We have stories of interest for developers at all levels, from students just working on their first class project to pros executing a AAA vision. After the show, tell us what you like or didn't, and if you're in chat, please tell us during the show.
Also, if we use any game dev terms you're not familiar with, like shaders, please do not hesitate to ask us what they mean. Ask in chat, send emails, whatever. Now, let us introduce the team. I'm
Brittany Regay. I'm the communications executive for Pharaoh's Conclave. It's an esports organization here in Atlanta. I'm also an freelance esports journalist, and most importantly, an avid gamer.
And avid gamers are the reason that people like me exist. I'm Andrew Greenberg, Georgia Game Developers Association Executive Director, and one of the directors at Holistic Design Incorporated, a long-standing Georgia-based game development studio responsible for a lot of games over the years. And I've been working in game development, an avid game developer now, since 1990. In chat, we have with us Mr. Brian Miller. Brian, can you introduce yourself in chat, please? Brian, in addition to being a wonderful human being, is also going to be your best source to get questions and comments to us. He's going to relay questions and comments to us for us to interact with. We want this to be as interactive a production as we can, so please relay your questions to him.
So, mergers and takeovers are always some of the biggest news in the industry, and Georgia saw one of the spring's biggest. French publisher Ubisoft, which has long struggled to break into the esports side, bought Blue Mammoth, the Swanee developer behind the esports brawler phenomenon Brawlhalla. Blue Mammoth, run by MMO veterans Matt Woomer and Lincoln Hamilton, started by developing the Flash-based MMO Dungeon Blitz. Their second game, Brawlhalla, quickly became one of the most popular esports games ever developed by a small studio.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, brawl!
All right, looks like we have looks like another Orion pick by GSU. UGA going with popular Queen 9, and it looks like a Hattori. I think this is the first Hattori we've seen.
It is. It was one that I've seen.
Oh, first Hattori we've seen this tournament.
Yes.
Orion trying to get those Lance combos off that he got off in the last match, but UGA is just not having it.
Yeah, they're much better balanced team. Nice hit, though.
We reached out to Matt Woomer about that merger, and here's what he told us. We're very excited to join up with Ubisoft. They're everything we were looking for in a partner. A top game developer, liked and respected by players, and with a history of innovation in their games. And Ubisoft was excited about our plan for the game and the studio. Plus, Ubisoft shares our philosophy that free-to-play games should have a healthy, player-focused approach. So it's a great fit. So what do Ubisoft and Blue Mammoth get out of this partnership?
Well, for Ubisoft, it's obvious. Until recently, the publisher hasn't been a major contender in esports game development. Ubi has made it clear that esports is an area it wants to be active, and merging with one of the most respected esports indie studios gives the publisher not only a successful game, but immediate credibility with dedicated esports players. And this isn't the first time we've seen Ubisoft increase its game range this way, notably with Red Storm, THQ Montreal, Massive Entertainment, and others.
Those are great points. We've heard from gamers asking why would Blue Mammoth agree to this considering the explosive growth of Brawlhalla. However, we've seen just how busy the whole team over at Blue Mammoth is handling everything. It's not a huge studio, and everyone over there has been handling multiple duties. In addition to the obvious help with marketing, PR, and sales, Ubisoft has also done a fantastic job reaching audiences around the world. Brawlhalla is a game that has already proven itself perfect for an international audience and can now be expected to gain many more fans.
For new developers looking to grow like Blue Mammoth, game dev contests are an excellent opportunity. Jennifer Ann's group is a nonprofit charity preventing abuse. They believe in the power of video games to create positive change in the world. Since 2008, they have been producing serious games to engage, educate, and empower. Their Gaming Against Violence program is an award-winning and research-based approach to preventing abuse. So this year, they're hosting the 2018 Life.Love Game Design Challenge, where the theme is bystanders. It's aimed at creating a game that educates players about how bystanders can safely and effectively intervene. The contest runs from April 6th to May 6, 2018, with $3,000 in prize money for the winning entries. Last year's contest was the largest they ever ran, with receiving registrations from over 6 continents, and past winners have received significant publicity, so this makes for a great opportunity for any developer, even those who have never been interested in games for change. If you feel games can make a positive change, there are few better.
Another series of great contests for game devs are the Tripwire mod contests. They've been doing these for a few years now. Tripwire began as a mod team, creating Red Orchestra as a mod for Unreal. Now it supports the mod community with these regular contests for its games.
When talking with Tripwire about the contest, VP Alan Wilson said, "Tripwire Interactive would not exist today without our founding members' earlier successes in the modding community, with Red Orchestra combined arms. This is our way to continue support for the mod community that eventually helped our company build successful franchises like Rising Storm and Killing Floor. And we look forward to seeing more great content from our creative community of creators." So you can be sure that when Tripwire announces its next mod contest later this year, we'll let you know.
The first Georgia Esports League State Championship ran in October 2017. It was a great hit, with the UGA, University of Georgia team, taking home the top honors.
The first Georgia Esports League Championship was a great success, with 40 competitors from 6 colleges competing for more than $11,000 in scholarships, as well as bragging rights to being the best in the state. Kennesaw State, Wiregrass Technical, Art Institute of Atlanta, SCAD Atlanta, University of Georgia, and Georgia State University. 3, 2, 1, brawl!
Drox has got round the back and took down Devin, and Zarajina's going to get triple kill.
He's looking for the kill. All he needs is a signature move. One of those fancy...
Open to college students around Georgia, GEL's Spring Championship in May 24th at Momocon at the Georgia World Congress Center in Atlanta. It offers more than $6,000 in scholarships to the winners of tournaments for Brawlhalla, Paladins, and Smite. The University of Georgia, Kennesaw State, Georgia State, and SCAD Atlanta have already registered to compete, but slots are still open for other schools.
On top of that, the championship also includes a career fair featuring animation, media, and game companies looking to hire new employees. More information on both registering for the tournament and attending the career fair can be found at the GGDA website. Remember, esports players and fans are exactly the type of people employers in all areas want now.
Momocon is also a great place to check out indie games. The Atlanta chapter of the International Game Developers Association and VRX Game recently put on a mixer for indie game developers, and we were there to play the games. One of the best aspects of attending such events is how willing developers are to share their tools and secrets. Stu Phelps from Neon the Ninja was a great example of this.
This is Andrew Greenberg with the Georgia Game Developers Association, here with Stu Phelps with Neon Ninja, battling the patriarchy. So Stu, can you tell us a little bit about the game?
Yeah, it's kind of a Mega Man meets Ninja Gaiden. I'm trying to capture the spirit of that old school console platformer era, just big on action, but not necessarily pixel art and chiptunes. I do a lot of hand-drawn art and do a lot of music with electric guitars and stuff. But it's kind of like, what would somebody of that era do if they had like all the tools of our era? So that's kind of my thought with the game.
With neat fight sequences to boot along with it. You've been having fun here at VRX, been able to show the game to a number of people?
Yeah, it's been really cool. Definitely had a few people come out, and yeah, I mean, I would love to see more of these happen in Georgia. It's really great.
You're getting good feedback on the game. What have you heard about the game?
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes the look of it and the feel of it, but you're going to find little bugs here and there, and you just got to make notes of it. But definitely good feedback. It's always good to show your game so you can kind of see other people play it.
That's excellent. So it's good to come outside of our game developer shells.
Yeah, if you just play your game all day, it's going to be great for you, but not necessarily great for anyone else. So,
any sense where you're showing it next? You gonna be a Momocon or anything like that?
Definitely will be a Momocon, and I'm looking at other stuff. Hopefully Terminus. I guess that hasn't locked in yet, but yeah, anything local, I'm going to try to be there. So
what are you developing in this? What are your tools for this game?
So this is Unity, and then I use a lot of Adobe products as well, so Photoshop. I do everything. I kind of like pencil everything as far as the art, hand sketch it, and then I kind of scan it in, and then go and redo the lines, and then paint everything in Photoshop. So it's a lot of Adobe stuff in addition to Unity.
And a lot of nice handwork on top of that. Are you using any plugins? Any plugins for Unity you'd recommend to anybody?
Definitely. Playmaker is a huge one for me. I'm definitely an artist first, and for a while I was making a lot of good progress coding, but Playmaker is a huge time saver. When you can do something in a state machine, it can really, really help you out, especially when you're like a one-man team, which pretty much that's what I am 95% of the time, unless a buddy helps me out. So yeah, I would definitely say that's a huge one that you should look at. But there's a lot of great plugins out there. I'm probably using so many I can't even think of any of them, but I'm using so many.
So remember that when you're making your games, no reason to recreate the wheel. Get what somebody else got.
Do everything you can, not to cut corners, but like just to get you to the next level if it makes sense. There's no shame in it whatsoever.
So this is Andrew Greenberg with the Georgia Game Developers Association and Stu Phelps with Neon Ninja.
So be sure to check out Neon the Ninja at their website, www.neontheninja.com.
Game jams are another great way to break into game development. The Athens chapter of the Georgia Game Developers Association recently put on its own game jam, and our very own Brian Miller was there to check it out, and he can tell us more. Let's take a look at what went down there.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is the Georgia Game Jam in Athens, and I have some very important people with us.
All right, I'm Zach Smith. I'm Xavier. I'm Andrew. I spent like 99% of my time programming.
And I'm Steven.
I'm Danny Lopez.
I'm Andres Bataria. I'm Jackson Deluck.
I'm Matthew Mooney.
And I'm Lindsay Briley.
I'm Michaela Gasser.
So I'm Catherine Ball.
I'm Ben Berg.
I'm Noah Leibowitz-Lockhart.
And what was the game that you guys made?
And our game was called the Escape.
Yeah.
Okay. Ghost Quest.
Ghost Quest. All right.
We made a game called Despair Cubed.
And we made Ghost Guard, No Regrets.
How did you guys hear about the Athens Game Jam?
We heard it from the department. The computer science
they
department.
Just sent an email
Computer
out.
science department at UGA?
Yeah.
We heard about it at an ACM meeting, and I asked her if she wanted to join.
ACM, what is that?
Association of Computer Machinery.
So, all right, you guys are seasoned. Is this your first game jam?
Yeah,
it is. So, what did you think?
I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed the whole experience. I'd never made a game before, and I feel like I spent so much time playing games. It'd be nice to be on the other side of it.
What could you give as a piece of advice for future game jams?
Have your plan laid out relatively early.
Try to get the basic idea down quickly.
Go 2D. Yeah. Go 2D your first time.
Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
All right. That's the KISS principle plays very well in game jams.
Find someone that's experienced in game jams.
Yeah, for sure. Playtesting and scope.
Scope. Yeah, right. What do you think would be your biggest epiphany or aha moment while building your game?
Ooh, let's start over there.
I'm sure we had a lot.
there was a bunch of
entire game.
The entire.
I'm sure we had a lot that didn't actually make it in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. We all worked on a bunch of different things.
Yeah. So it's a lot quicker to get the first product, but then it's a lot harder to tweak it from there.
The animation.
The animation? Okay.
I really figured out how to use that.
I shouldn't be here. I need to be doing work, but oh well.
Or for me, it was, since we didn't have to program anything, it wasn't a matter of, making sure this bug, is fixed and it works. It's like, okay, well, now we have to figure out that it actually meshes well.
There's just too many to count.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, how about you?
For my lack of experience, probably the biggest epiphany is discovering your role in the whole team and finding out what your strength is or what you could contribute.
Trying to get sponsors.
The GGDA.
We have IEEE student organization, Next Door Technologies, and we have Takey's Games.
Yes.
Insomnia Cookies and Zombie Coffee and Donuts.
Awesome. So thank you very much to our sponsors. Thank you for tuning in. And you can find all of these games, I believe, at itch.io.
Athens Game Jam 2018 on itch.io.
Thank you.
One of the best ways to gain industry attention for your projects and skills is by speaking at game dev events. Siege is the largest professional game dev conference in the Southeast United States.
If you're interested in speaking at Siege, then be sure to apply on the GGDA website. Siege focuses on panel discussions, but also has room for presentations, workshops, and more. Past speakers have included Warren Spector, Jesse Schell, Aaron Hoffman, and even industry founder Nolan Bushnell. You don't have to have created our industry to come speak at Siege. Anyone with fresh websites is welcome. So we've got some great events coming up. We have a number of GDNN and GGDA events coming up that you'll all be interested in. Obviously, the next one is our May 1st live stream with the winners of the Athens Game Jam. Brian Miller, I hope you tell people about that in chat. That should be a lot of fun. May 8th is the next GGDA Atlanta chapter meeting. That will be at the Microsoft store at Lenox Mall. We've done a perimeter before. This time it's at Lenox. And we're going to be having speakers from Xbox. That's the plan right now. Talking about Xbox development, Windows development, mixed reality development, and so forth. So join us for it should be an absolutely fascinating night.
And join us after the broadcast for a GGDA exclusive interview with Unity Engine expert Jonathan Weinberger. A self-taught software engineer with over 8 years of experience, Jonathan Weinberg has recently collaborated with Udemy to develop and teach a Unity-based curriculum. The course aims to help coders of all levels master the Unity engine to create 2D and 3D games. In addition, Jonathan has authored Learn Unity Programming with C#. His previous experience includes developing video games for Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, and numerous other indie game studios. So come prepared to ask any and all questions you may have about Unity. And thanks for joining the Game Developers News Network tonight, and stay tuned to meet Game Dev John. Good night.
See you all May 22nd, right back here, for the next Game Dev News Network extravaganza. Well, at least live stream broadcast. Good night, everybody.